won't see it. So put it here so I can actually see it. And you send me a link. If we're not connected, I'll just send a link to you as a connection request. Oh, everyone's showing up on my StreamYard. Excellent, excellent. I think no, I'm still on LinkedIn. That's why. Okay, superb. Look, we'll do our best. As you show up on StreamYard, I'll put you on screen. I'm sure. Our finance genius, Queen Leah, as we call her. So I'm glad you're here, Leah. So Leah always wants me to talk about her free Wall of Wealth ebook. So do connect with her. She is a finance genius. Literally, it's not literally, she's a finance genius, full stop. If you want to make money, spend the money, and still have the money in your account, talk to Leah. She knows how to do all that.
And it's Princess Leah. Don't get it mixed up. Princess Leah.
I just call her Queen.
No, Princess Leah. Come on.
Isn't there a Queen Leah? Didn't Princess ever become a queen in the film?
Oh my gosh, no! Isn't it Star Wars, Princess Leia?
I watch films.
Oh my gosh! All right. Let's leave that for another day.
Welcome.
Hi, Aaron.
Live. We'll see you. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining us all the way from Canada. So now I know next time when I do a book launch and I need friends in Canada, Aaron, I'm coming to you. Last time I was on Linda's case. So I was like, Linda, please buy the book in Canada. And it worked. She made us a bestseller. So I said, Aaron, I'm never going to add you to my Canadian friends list. Like you're not my friend otherwise. It's not true. Michelle, we see you. Welcome. So slowly getting back on track. I'm going to walk the dog super fast. This woman walks her dogs. At least I walk the dog. Listen to that 25 times a day, literally all day. And I walk my dogs. I do my job. I open the door. I'm like, let's garden. Go and file it as always. And they do. So I leave that well alone, right? Who else is here? Lisa, I see your long name. So Mr. David Jones, Mr. Metaverse, glad you're here as well. I was watching your show on Instagram last night. So thank you so much for joining us. If you don't know who these people are, my friends, go in the comments after the event and connect with them. Anyway, listen, Queen Leah says that's a different show. Yes, she's still Queen Leah. Can't do Princess Leah. That's way too low for the genius that Leah Garcia is. Paulette, are you going to speak today, Paulette?
Well, as I have a voice, I feel like I should say something, shouldn't I?
Yay!
So yes, it's back. It's still a bit crackly and a bit some moments it's sexy, some minutes I sound like Darth Vader, so you never know what you're gonna get. But basically
this is fine. You're not whispering at us. You're husky whispering.
So you hated that. You were like, don't talk to me, I can't bear it. So I'm not whispering. No, I'm not whispering, but you do get Darth Vader every now and again, so I warn you, okay? But yeah, lovely to be back. I was really sick for sort of 7 weeks out of 9. It was horrendous, but we're back. We're fighting fit-ish. I can go down very quickly, so I've just got to look after myself. But I wouldn't miss this for the world. So I wanted to come back and say hi. And I'm sorry I let you down, but I was poorly honest. And it's really great to be back. So, fingers crossed we don't get near any germs. Let's keep the germs out and I'll be okay. So great to be back, guys, and lovely to see you all. And I've got to meet Dr. Tanya, which is a huge, huge win. So thank you for that. And I'll pass the mic back. Thank you.
Feelings mutual. It's a huge win. I'm excited to meet you as well.
And you're on mute.
That's the way it should be, Lisa. Let's keep it up. So Aaron says, big belly hugs, Paulette. Hello, good to see you looking healthy again. Yay. It is true. You're 100% better than you were, Paulette, so we'll take that. So yes, it is. You look like you're feeling much better, Paulette. Yeah, she is. Well, she does go down very, very quickly when she gets ill. That's the problem. She can get ill tomorrow. She might lose her voice. Suddenly it's like, oh no, it's happened again. Anyway, Jay, we see you. Wendy, we see you as well. Yes, nice. It's not Liam. No, and that Paulette has that Liam Neeson voice for sure. when she chooses to, how to scare the men away and everyone else, and probably the pets as well. And she's got her dog Teddy. I'm sure Teddy runs for cover. Oh no, she's croaking again. We ignore that. Yolanda, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I don't think we met before, Yolanda, but I'm always into making new friends. So thank you for being here. Look, I'm only here just to make up the numbers, really. No one really cares what I have to say in this show. I'm still Annie, and I guess I do these events with my friends who do special solutions, what I call it. So, when I meet people like the amazing Lisa, who has a unique skill, I'm like, let's do a live event. It was an audio room when we started a year and a bit ago, if not more. So we've been here every 2 weeks, pretty much talking about this very important topic. I guess as a man, Lisa would tell me that we have our own menopause, male menopause. But I'm more interested in the terrorizing effect of menopause on the men in the house. So that's more what fuels me to be here, to learn from all of you. I see Miss Houston's joined us, another legend. Glad you're here. Can we find a way to get Melissa Houston as one of our guests? Lisa.
We're just trying to find a schedule that works for her. So I have asked, but she wasn't able to make it with Felipe, but it's just a scheduling thing.
Okay, so one day
soon, yes.
The multi-time is international best-selling author, and so Tara said the other half of the Hello LLC. David, I'm glad you're here. The Web3 specialists. So what do I do apart from doing these sort of shows? What I do is publish books. I hope you write your book, publish your book, and sell your book. Many of us can publish books, of course. And I said, Nick being another one who's a publisher. There's enough people on LinkedIn that we can all help. So I'm all right with that. If you're so inclined, feel free to go and check out this book here. Yeah, that one. I think it's remotely close. Lessons we learned from COVID. So that's one of the book that I published with 9 other authors, telling our story how we survived the pandemic. My new passion is how I survived life-threatening illness book. So I want to hear from people who have survived those cancer, diabetes, liver failure. Now, how do you survive? Dr. Tanya, you must know people who survive big things. Please send them my way. So I want to tell their stories. So we don't talk enough about those who overcome illnesses. It's like the illness is kind of a shame. It's something to be hidden away. No, let's tell your story. In case I get those sort of illnesses, I want to know what to do. Do I rely on medication? Do I rely on holistic health? Do I rely on lifestyle? Do I rely on something else? Spirituality, mindset, exercise? What saved you? So let's talk about it and let's educate the world. If any of that means anything to you, then please get in touch with me. What does David say? Men, we do. Sorry, so true. I don't know, David. They accuse me of wanting that Ferrari because of a midlife crisis. David, it's not true. I've always wanted that Ferrari, so I can afford it now. So I'm going to buy it. Right? It says nothing about my manhood or my sense of self. It just means I want that car. I'm just saying. But anyway, no one cares what I say, like I say. So let's go to Lisa. Lisa, you're the star of the show. Entertain us, please.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna leave that one alone. We'll discuss that off camera. But yeah, I am so blessed to have so many people in the audience, so many stars, so many good LinkedIn community. Because today I think is a really important topic. It goes to what Annie was saying about when we get struck by illness, what do we do? What is our wellness plan? And for people like Paulette and myself who have some sort of chronic illness and we get ill often, we're in and out of hospitals, the word wellness can mean something different to us, can be more important to us. So I wanted to have this conversation, not just from the aspect of menopause, and that menopausal journey can certainly affect your well-being, Yeah, there are over 100 symptoms that you can experience on that menopausal journey. A lot of times women suffer not just from physical symptoms, which could be debilitating, but also the emotional and mental aspect as well, the anxiety, the depression, and even the suicidal thoughts. I had a client text me earlier today, and she was very surprised. She never heard that suicidal thoughts was one of the symptoms that women could experience. So this is why I'm passionate about doing these shows every 2 weeks, to bring that awareness, to bring that education. And for those who are new in the audience, my name is Lisa Favec. I'm a dietitian, author, educator, and transformation coach for women's health issues, but I really focus on midlife and menopause because we don't have enough information. We don't talk about it enough. It's very taboo in some areas, some countries. I'm from the Caribbean, from Trinidad and Tobago, and it's still very hush-hush in certain communities. So my passion is to be that voice for women who feel like they don't have a voice, who can't share their experiences or afraid to. Hopefully from seeing these shows, you get that courage, you get that information, and you take it back to your own communities and spread the word. So today I wanted to focus on that wellness aspect. And being a dietitian, people think, okay, I'm just focused on nutrition. And nutrition, I think, is the foundation for our wellness, but it's not the only aspect. And physical activity and that mental aspect plays a big role. And in my programs, I focus on all three because you can't have one without the other. Yes, it's good to start with nutrition, and nutrition affects physical activity. It affects that mental aspect. But we also need to focus on mindset and things we could do to bring us out of that funk when we're feeling like it, and things that bring us back to joy. So I wanted to bring Dr. Tanya because she's part of a special network that focuses on wellness, and she has a great event coming up this weekend, which we'll talk about in a bit. But Dr. Tanya, share a little bit about why you got involved in wellness, what it means to you, why it's so important to you.
Absolutely. So, being an educator, it's so important to be able to take care of yourself. I, as a mom, as I worked full time, a wife, I had to find ways and systems to be able to take care of myself, my own wellness. And I speak very openly about the things that I've had to do to help myself become well, including going to therapy. Taking my kids to therapy. My husband has gone with us. We've all done this together as a family. For physical activity, finding time in the day, and those things change to get physical activity. Your kids are little. How do you get physical activity? And they're all over you, right? You got to find a time. I remember having this conversation with my husband. And I said, when can I start working out again with a second baby? And he's like, I guess after we put her to bed at 8. And I thought, that is not going to work. Rocking a baby in a dark room, I cannot go work out after that. So we had to come up with a new plan, which meant a little earlier in the morning. But, finding those ways to do that. So I had to do that. And then I started doing a lot of work, just myself mentally with, affirmations and journaling and, doing those types of things for my mind and my spirit, my spirituality, going to church and finding time for that in my day. And so, it's been a long journey. And so for me, when I started Creative Living Ideas in 2020, it was really important for me to put those things out also into the world for parents. So my book, Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual, also has a section in there for self-care for parents, because it's super important that as parents that we're balancing our needs. And I talk a lot about it, even throughout the book in little chapters and throughout the book in different chapters. So that was something that was important to me. And so then developing these with my company, we developed these books to be able to help other people find an actual tool, a resource to help them document their self-care journey. And so that was important for me to do. And then I branched out to creating these amazing events that we will get into. And I also partnered with Damian Kinsey for these events, the Virtual Wellness Experience and the Work-Life Balance Summit. And we started the 2350 network together. And the 2350 network is incredible. They're just not numbers. They actually mean something. So the 2350 means don't let 10 minutes of something bad that happened in your day ruin the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. So it's a whole mindset shift of an organization that we're able to really work towards those things, support one another, really build an amazing network of people that are like-minded, and that really love to come together for each other. So yeah, it's been really, really cool. So that's kind of part of my personal journey. And I really have always, as a mom, tried to instill that in my children, and, I always say our kids are watching us. And so if I'm working out and finding time in my day or taking a walk or eating healthy or, making healthier food choices, then I'm modeling that for my kids. And that was important for me to be able to do. And, I can see that in my adult daughters now, making those changes in their life and following some of the patterns. My 25-year-old daughter had said to me the other day, she actually sent me a text of her space that she was in the evening. She had dimmed the lights. She had lit her diffuser. She had quiet music going. She had her yoga mat out. She was doing some yoga stretches. She'd had a long day of work, added a glass of wine to it. You could decide wine or tea. That's your choice. And you know what? I was really proud of her to see how she was managing her stressful day. So to me, that speaks volumes. And I want to put that out for other people. Not everybody has been to therapy or has read self-help books or things like that, or has listened to events like this, to be able, like Lisa's, show that she does every 2 weeks, to help people understand, how does nutrition affect their body, their lives, how they're feeling, how they're managing pain, anything like that, or menopause. Yeah.
There was so much good stuff you said in there.
Thank you.
So much. What I love is that you took the time and you were aware that your children were watching you, so that your self-care wasn't just about you. It was being a model for the people around you, so that you, even when you don't feel like doing those good habits for yourself, okay, my kids are watching. So
Yes.
that would be motivation to do what you needed to do for them as well. And I just love that. And that's something I also work with, menopausal women. Some still have young children or may have aging parents at home. So your wellness and how you take care of yourself affects everyone around you. So it's really important that we start thinking, okay, what's one thing I could do today to make myself better, feel better, or eat better? And I love the network that you also created with Damien. And if you're not connected with Dr. Tanya or Damien or following their 2350 network, please do it. I mean, these are wonderful people in our LinkedIn community. But I just love the aspect of that network. Don't let 10 minutes, don't let one situation spoil the rest of your day. And that's something a lot of women in midlife struggle with. They may be at work and their boss says something or a coworker says something, and it just throws everything out. And they may gravitate towards some sort of comfort food and then feel guilty for eating that and say, well, I already messed up once today. Screw the day. Let's start back tomorrow. And then you go on to tomorrow and it doesn't feel like it. Let's start next week. And it's like, no, okay, these things are going to happen. You may gravitate towards that unhealthy food to get through it, but that's okay. You have the rest of the day to figure out, okay, what's a better choice we could make? What's a healthy option we could make? Or if I just don't feel like that and I want to, be aware of my feelings, that's okay too. And that's why I love to have these conversations, so that people know it's okay. Give yourself that grace, and I'm so happy to have Paulette on the stage, because she's in that mental wellness space, children's wellness, adult wellness. So Paulette, please share with us if you have any comments on what Dr. Tanya said, I just want to hear your voice. I've missed you for so long. Just speak. Say anything.
Just speak. So it's not Liam Nielsen. I'm gonna get you, Jay. Everything Dr. Tanya said, just absolutely spot on. And the one thing that I would say is that when the two things that I've had people come to me in the work environment when I was back working. I just can't do my job. And I said, what do you mean? It was a female. I can't see the numbers. The numbers are all moving. I feel like my head is just foggy and I'm looking through clouds. And I said, okay, do you think it's called like the brain fog that we hear people talk about? And she said, what's that? And I said, let's look it up. So together we looked it up. And when we looked it up, she was like, oh, that's exactly how I feel. I said, right, go make an appointment, go and see a doctor. I said, your job is safe. There's no problems here. We'll get covering, take a week off, find out whether or not it's menopause or fibromyalgia or all the other things it could be. There's a whole list of things. And the thing that, Lisa, you're so brilliant at is you make everybody aware of all of these reasons why we feel different. Why do we feel different? Do we understand why we feel different? We don't. We just know that something's wrong. And don't be scared to go to the doctors. Sometimes they don't know. And I had someone tell me, I'm a GP. Do you know what that means? And it was a sort of a sarcastic, do you know what that means? And I said, well, go on. He said, general practitioner. I'm practicing. I said, well, not on me, you're not. And he just laughed, you see. But actually, the point is, they are trying. They're trying with best they can with what they've got, with the information they've got. They don't have the expertise Lisa does. So when you go to see them, like I said to this lady who came to the office, write down everything about how you're feeling, when it is that you feel this way and how is it once a month? Is it, when does it happen? And it was exactly coinciding with periods and everything else. So it was obviously to do with her menopause. And, instead of her being ashamed or scared, I wasn't HR. I was just the girl that she came to speak to. But it was really interesting that I was able to go, I've got fibromyalgia, so I probably understand it more than you think, right? But there are ways of learning. I don't ever just put my numbers through once. I put my numbers through once, write the number down, do it again. If it's the same, I know it's right? You get strategies to work your way through these problems. And with everything in life, whatever the problem, there's a solution. Sometimes you just have to look a bit harder for it. And that's what I believe. And I don't think that anyone should be left feeling like I can't. It's really a case of you don't want to. So if you want to badly enough, you can. And even if it just means moving to one dance for 10 seconds one day, and then as you build up, you can do a whole 3 minutes. Wow, you did 3 minutes. Now let's do two songs, right? Let's just do things gradually. Let's not try and go, today I am completely sedentary and do not move. I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow, because it's not going to happen, right? You won't even have the sneakers anyway. But the point is, we can't expect to just go on a trajectory like that. Let's be realistic. Set goals that are tiny and build on those. That's my advice to everybody and anybody on everything. With home life, with children, when kids start really misbehaving, there's a reason. It's not just hormones. I get so frustrated when a parent says, do you think they're hormonal? I'm like, every child is hormonal, but there's a reason for this misbehavior. That's what you have to find out. So there's nothing ever happens for no reason. There's always a reason. And we just have to be like scratch cards and keep scratching away until we find it. So that's my advice. And on that note, I'm going to shut up.
Well, thanks for that, Paulette. See, this is why I love having you here. And one thing you said I want to just reemphasize, writing things down, especially when we're in midlife. We don't have the brain of a teenager, 20-year-old. We're not going to remember. So, and things could change from day to day. So it's good to write things down. Write how you're feeling. What did you have to eat? Were you sad? Were you angry? Did somebody tick you off? What medications you took that day? Because everything is important. And as you were saying, doctors don't know everything. We expect our GP to know everything. As soon as we sit in the chair, they're supposed to figure out what's wrong with us. That's not how it works. Think of your doctor as a technician. You go to the mechanic, you carry your car, you have to tell them what's wrong, what noise you were hearing, if any lights came on the dashboard. You have to point them in the right direction. Doctors are the same. If you don't tell them what's wrong, they'll just sit there watching you because they don't know where to start. So you write things down, what you're feeling, what pains, because most of the time we know something is wrong. We don't know why, we just know something is off. So write down, am I gassy? Did I have diarrhea? Did I have a headache? Did I eat? What did I eat? Because something may trigger it. Give them all the information because that helps us as healthcare professionals to know which direction to take, to know if, okay, I need to send you to a specialist based on these symptoms. So I just love that you share that with us. And I'm seeing a lot of men in the room. And Annie said, men don't like to go to the doctors, which is true. But for the men here, wellness is also important to your health. It is important for your self-care. So take the time to put you first as well. How am I feeling today? What support do I need? Okay, I'm noticing I'm feeling a pain every day in a certain area. Maybe it's time to go have a check. And again, write down the symptoms, what medications you're on. Same process, because that's the only way we can support you. Don't wait until it's something where you need surgery. Because a lot of times when, patients come to healthcare professionals, it's almost too late and we have to do something drastic. When if you took the time, okay, something is wrong. Yes, it may cost something, and healthcare, especially in the States, can be horrendous, right? For us in the Caribbean, for people in the UK, the basic healthcare is still free, although you have to sit and wait for hours, right? So it's not perfect. But take that time to put your wellness first, because remember, we have kids, we have aging parents, we have other people to take care of, and they depend on us. And oh my gosh, I realize Annie keeps sneaking off. Annie, my friend, are you there? I'm seeing new people in the audience. Here he is. And you're on mute.
I'm better on mute. I keep telling you, and you keep saying
I'm gonna keep harassing you. I'm sorry.
Right. So Yolanda, welcome, our Pink Lemonade breast cancer fundraising lady. Glad you're here. So Jackie, we'll see you as well. Yeah, if you haven't been to Jackie's shows, do go along. Jackie does many shows. She does a show on solo traveling. I think that's the last one I went to. She does one on re-entry as well. I don't know whether they come to live yet. Thank you for joining us. Superwoman Margaret, one of my co-authors on that book that I pointed out earlier. Behind me, that one. Yeah, that one. Lessons we learned from COVID. Glad you're here. But you find Margaret on Go Brunch doing many of her shows. So Lisa, Michelle says she agrees. I think was it Dr. Tanya? I think so. We're definitely a mirror of our children, and what we do with ourselves will definitely show within them. Yeah, we agree? Okay, excellent. Lisa and then talk to text. And that's actually got the spelling wrong just now. So walking the dog still. I tell you, she's a dog walker. I'm a door opener. Dr. Marcia, welcome. We'll see you. Thank you for joining us. And also Miss Pepperoni. Yes, Noni, glad you're here as well. Can I go back? Can I go on hide now?
No, actually, I want your opinion on wellness from a man's perspective. How do you treat your wellness? You're not going to get away, sorry.
Why? Why? I'm doing
I
so
know
well.
your son is very responsible for a lot of the things you're doing now, so you can share that
Yeah,
with us.
okay, all right. We're just having the money. It's not having the carbs are better for you after being in the fridge overnight. It's just not happening. It's like, no, it's not true. You can't change the calories. So I've worked out what the answer is. It's about resistant starch, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. I can send him a clinical
Please
study.
do, please do. You know,
I
I say,
can
well,
send you
no, when
research, yeah.
the
We're not
16-year-old
just talking out of our butts. There is
yeah, when
actual
the
research.
16-year-old things I talk out of my proverbial, you know.
Yeah,
But look,
what I share on these shows is not my opinion. It's not my,
send
it's
it,
based
Lisa.
on scientific research. So I'll hook you
Send
up,
it
don't worry.
send it on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Straight to his phone. I suppose my exercise, my keeping healthy regime has changed over the years. Of course it has. You know, don't tell my son that. He doesn't believe me. You know, so now I'm 50. I'm like, this has to stop. All these 3 hours exercise a day. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Even in a week, I'm not doing that anymore. I refuse. I just hurt too much. You know, so I've got better. Since I was playing football when I was younger, but that soon stopped in my early 30s, and then I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So now, you know, then I think the next stage after that was doing, like, say, 3 hours of gym, you know, every couple of days. And that just hurt. It just hurt. You know, so now I've learned to eat a bit more healthily. You know, so I actually do have vegetables. You know, I go for 3 colors, Lisa. You told me I need to go for colors. I haven't found 7 colors yet. 7 colors, that's a bit much, right? That's a bit much. I still eat the same food. Maybe slightly smaller amount, I think. But I do exercise pretty much most days. And so now, so this terrorist of a son of mine, because he's a fitness freak, he gives me things to do. You know, so I don't have to put hours in. You know, so I do my exercise today. I've started already. So I've worked out things that work for me, and what I like doing. I can do, you know, parallel bars where you can do dips. You know, like they have in gyms. That you think I'm never going to do that, but mine's on the ground. I'm not going 6 foot up in the air and dangling. No chance. Right? I can dangle 3 foot in my garden, but I don't do that either. That's a bit more dodgy, right? So and I can do my dips, you know. So I can when I make tea, I tend to do some dips, you know, whether it's 10 or that's 20. But by the end of the night, I normally get to about 60 dips a day, and then I got to do my kettlebells every other day. Yes, it hurts. It just hurts. It hurts. But hell, and I get it over and done with. And I guess I'm seeing the benefits. I'm not as big as I was, and at least I get through them, you know, without having to go to the gym ever. So I do little bits, Lisa, and that's enough for me, thanks. I'm just wondering now, when do I stop? Because my son thinks I'm going to carry on until the day I die. I'm like, no, I don't need muscles. Now, past 60, I don't need muscles at all. Past 60, I'm like, that's the end of that. It'll be 55 for all I know. I'm like, no more. You know, but little and often is a thing. You know, so it takes me about an hour a day. You know, and that's if I long it out. I could do it quicker, but why do it quicker? So relax into it. Can I go now, Lisa? Have I told you enough?
Yes, you have. I'm actually making notes.
Oh, wow.
Would you believe for what you said?
Saying, surely.
You said such good nuggets here, man.
I told you, now, you owe me 3 times. I know the peanuts I normally get from you. So, Mr. Ashif, super coach, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, yes.
So, my friends, if you want to come in the studio, I'm sure I've shared the link with most of you. You know, and the link is on the comments on the event page. So you're welcome to come in the studio and ask questions or add to the conversation as you wish. So, of course, I see Michelle's here, so we'll probably go to Michelle soon. I'll give the mic back to you, Lisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a few things that you said, actually. Which, you know, I don't know why you think that you don't have anything to share with us. So you talked about your son being involved in your fitness and doing things with you or sharing things. And I think that's so important. Even when they're young, even when they're a baby. So Dr. Tanya talks about finding time to work out. I would say work out with your baby. That's a weight right there. So you can do lifts with your baby while you're playing. So you can find, but I love what you said. You found ways to incorporate wellness into your lifestyle since it changed. And every time children get older, things change. You just have to adjust what you're doing, and there's no right or wrong. It's just for you to keep going. So I just love that. So involve your children. I know I tell my clients, make it a game. You have a favorite TV show that you're watching. Every time an advertisement comes on, how many squats can I do, or push-ups, or how many times can I run around the table? Who's going to win? Right? Because children always love this game. And then tap into your inner child as well. Enjoy it. So, and you said, you find things that you love. You don't like going to the gym. I hate the gym. And I don't use the word exercise because people automatically think, okay, I have to go to the gym, I have to buy weights or something expensive. I just say move. Like Paulette said, put on a song and dance. If you love to dance, play 3 of your favorite songs and dance. And that could be a workout right there. 3 songs are too much. Okay, we're going to start with 1. A song is about 3-4 minutes. We're going to start with 1 and see how we feel. Okay, my knees hurt today. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Tomorrow I'm gonna do another one. Maybe play another song. How do I feel? Okay, I feel great. Okay, we're gonna do 2 songs now. And just keep building on that. So consistency is what you want to get to. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to run that marathon. Start where you're comfortable. Listen to how your body feels and then build on it. If yoga is your thing, do that. If swimming is your thing, do that. Michelle was talking about walking her dog. That's great exercise. Being out in nature, bringing the fresh air, doing something fun with your dogs, playing in the dog park. So it doesn't have to be a CrossFit or a Zumba class. Those things are fine. But if that is not what brings you joy, it's going to feel like work. And at this stage of my life, especially in midlife, I'm going to do things that bring me joy. So I'm going to dance because that's what works for me. And another interesting thing you said, Annie, is doing some sort of physical activity while you're waiting for your tea. So that's called, I know I was reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He calls it habit stacking. So if I always make a cup of coffee in the morning at a certain time, while that coffee is making, I can do some sort of physical activity. I'm waiting for a phone call, I can do some physical activity. Something that's always there, that's set in your routine or set on your calendar, you can add to it. So most of us wait for the coffee, we're waiting for the kettle to boil, or we're waiting for something to microwave. Can I do 5 squats while that's happening? Or lunges or push-ups or whatever. And you don't have to go on the ground to do push-ups. You can do it off of a sturdy table. You can even do it off of a wall. Right? So it doesn't really matter what your physical capability is. You can find something that your body can work with. And talking about that, I have 2 superstars on the stage that I want to hear from. And they're both called Michelle. Wow, look at that.
They both
So,
are my 2 favorite Michelles.
2 favorite, yes. So I know Michelle B was here for a while. So Michelle, share with us what wellness means to you and what you do in your life for your wellness. I'm really
Can you welcome Charita so I can take her off screen?
Oh, hi, BFF. Wow, I know it's really early, before 7 a.m. So glad to have you here.
Superb. Okay. Michelle, the mic is yours.
I don't. Everyone thinks that I go and I work out, but that's the most irritating thing in the world to me is to actually walk into a room and you just clang, 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 and then and then you got people walking by. Next thing you know, you think you're at the Paris fashion models, and there's just, I get so confused. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like dressing up and going, or if I'm supposed to, I don't know. So I just, what I do here is, honestly, growing up, I was in ballet since the age of 8, and so I do a lot of plies and everything, waiting for my coffee and stuff like that. And I dance a lot. I just put on music and I dance a lot, hike a lot. I clean a pony barn. and, I do the gardening and stuff like that. But that's what I do to keep myself well. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of feel I'm different, and so it's really hard for me to work out with people and stuff like that. So I kind of just do my own thing, and I'll sprint. All of a sudden, I'll go outside and I'll sprint the sand dune right outside my back door. And I mean, if I feel too much energy, that's what I do. And it's just, oh, since I've been 8 years old, we've been molding my body, and everything you see on me is muscle memory. Honestly, my since we're talking about menopause, I'm just gonna throw this out here. My longest labor was 42 minutes, 8 pounds, 12 ounces, 21 inches long. Thought they were walking out as a football. 3 days later, I was right back in my pants. The third one the same way. I believe 14 minutes. Elizabeth, my youngest daughter, she just turned 20, but she was 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Imagine that. You get to the hospital and the doctor's just like, all right, let's do this, and he was just like, it was insane. And so, but very the next day, I would say about a week later, I was right back into my pants. And it's not because I dieted or anything like that. It's just all muscle memory with my body. It automatically goes right back into place. And if not, I help it. I learned from a woman from Germany to put a girdle on right after you have a child. And by the way, all my kids were natural. You know what? I wish I could have had a pain pill, but 11 minutes. Imagine that. Like, where are they going to throw that pain pill in? And it was just like, oh, and you forget about it. But I, 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 I don't know. I've just never had problems like anyone else has, and so I've just never really talked about it. Just like when I go to my doctor and everything, and I had my pap smear, and they were like, "Well, here pretty soon you might, stop having your period." And I was like, "Oh, no, that happened right after I had my daughter." and, and she was like, "What?" And and everything came back totally normal. I mean, I don't have stretch marks. I can't explain that. Um, I guess it's just the way it is, and I don't know. Maybe I'll go through menopause. I mean, I kind of feel like I missed out, honestly. um, it's just kind of like getting your period. You feel like all of a sudden you graduated to adulthood. Well, you know what? I want to get old, and my body's like, nah, you're good. Let's go have fun. So I've just been going with my body, with what it's saying, and here I am. I have a lot of fun.
Michelle, I said, I know you control your weight, or your weight is
Oh.
controlled drastically.
Drastically.
Tell us about that.
It's since I have sensory issues, and my body is. I If you give me penicillin, make sure you know how to intubate, right? Because I'm out. I'm dead. And so with my ADD and autism, I forget to eat a lot. And so I do graze all day though. I really do. And so every month when I go to my doctor because of what I am prescribed, and I do believe everybody needs a team. All right. And when they're unique like me, you don't just have one person. You got the whole team. And yeah, 'cause all my doctors are connected, and so we weigh me. And if I'm not at 130, we know to up or down my meds. And I know everyone's just like, well, take just Strattera, take this. We tried me on Strattera for 3 years, you guys. 3 years. We still it's my body, and that's okay. At no point am I hurting anyone. At no point am I going out doing drugs. I'm not. But everyone's unique and everyone's different, and whatever works for them. And their doctors are like, you know what? We've got like 5 years of documentation on her, and it prove us wrong. And so I feel like, oh, my uniqueness is okay. Or my neuro would be telling me, my MD would be telling me, my ENT would be telling me. I hope you guys would tell me. Yes. So yeah, it is hard being this train wreck right here. It really is. If I don't go outside, like right when I get up and just, I've always been this way too. And even my grandma used to say, Michelle, go put on your clothes. Because I would run out to, um, or she would hang up clothes out back, and we lived out in the country, but we did have a couple neighbors. And of course, we had the crop duster always coming in. And I would just run out there and grab my clothes and my underwear and everything. But while I was running out there, it was just like I was grounded to the earth. And I just, here we go, man. And I was out the door, and my grandma understood that. So she taught me to always ground myself, no matter what situation you're in. Ground yourself. I used to have this hiding spot in her closet in the back of it, like when she would have people come over for Eastern Star, play pinochle and such, and I would go into it was my cave. But she had it set up really cool in there, and everyone always knew where I'd go. But she had also put actually, someone asked her, do you guys have a cat? She's like, no, that's Michelle's. She got me a kitty litter box and put sand and earth in it from outside. And whenever I'd start getting excited, I would just put my feet in. And I've just always been that way. And yeah, I can't explain it. I don't know, one of those people like, don't fence me in, But yeah, I believe everything connects us, and my doctors are really good with it. And it's hard to take care. Like I said, everybody's a train wreck, and that's why I say it takes a lot to deal with this train wreck. Because you know what? Every once in a while, we wreck. We jump off those rails. Well, you know what? You just fix your train.
You
And
did just
you get
fine,
back on the
Michelle.
rails.
You did just fine. Who wants to
Sir.
respond? Lisa or Dr. Tanya?
Thank you.
No, thank you, Michelle.
I am just one in awe, and two, just loving everything she shared. There are times when you're going to go off the rails, and that's okay. That happens. You just do what you need to do to get back on them. And that idea of grounding, I just love that your grandmother instilled that in you from early, because I'm sure that has helped you a lot with a lot of the issues that you're facing. Going back to nature, going back and just putting your feet on the ground, just walking through nature can be so helpful, especially when we have all those struggles with anxiety and depression and all those emotional issues. Just being in nature can be so helpful. I love that you talked about just dancing or gardening. A lot of us think we have to go to the gym, and we don't. For many of us, myself included, I just don't feel comfortable there. It doesn't work for me. So I have to find other ways to support my need for wellness. for me, that's dancing, that's martial arts sometimes, you know. So I found what works for me, luckily. So it's just for you to, again, give yourself grace, give yourself that time, and figure out what works for you. Be open and curious to try different things. You go to the gym and it doesn't work for you. Okay, that's just not for me. Let's try something else. I'm dancing. Okay, I kind of feel weird doing it. Okay, maybe it's the wrong song. Maybe it's the wrong dance. I have a garden outside and I just love being out there. Okay, so garden. You talked about cleaning. Cleaning is such an energetic activity if you're being mindful about it and being intentional about it. I tell my clients, don't try to clean the whole house in one day and then you're dead for the rest of the week. Use that as your physical activity. Divide the room into four and really focus on one quarter of the room and get that done. Maybe take a day off and focus on the other quarter the next day. You know, we can find something that works for you, for your lifestyle and what you're going through. So I just love everything you share. I'm so happy you came on stage. Thank you so much. Dr. Tanya Paulette, you want to say
Yeah,
anything before we go to Michelle? Gosh, I don't
yeah.
want to see the second Michelle. We have to find something else better.
Just one quick thing, a fellow dancer myself, Michelle. I absolutely love it. I was dancing from the time I was 7, and that is my physical activity choice. Like if I love going for a walk, but turning on some good jams, you know, get some Dua Lipa going in the next room. I mean, I am happy girl and I love it. And I will just, my heart rate will get up just as high as going for a big power walk up a hill. So I love it, girl. I'm right there with you. I love that you're doing that. And I love that you're finding what feels good. And that's something that was instilled in me as I started doing some yoga practices, is finding what feels good. And some days it's walking and some days it is dancing. So I love that. So thanks for letting me pop in.
Dua Lipa, who's that? I have no idea. I really have no idea. You know,
And
you're very young. No, I'm old. Leave me alone.
I'm older than you, Annie, first of all, and I love good music, like of all genres, and I love current day music, pop music, Dua Lipa for sure.
I have no clue modern day music.
I'll send you a great.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. If I saw them on the street, I walk straight past them and say,
do not waste your time. Annie is if Michelle thinks she's special, no, Annie is unique. Just leave Annie in his little box.
He's gonna get a YouTube video on Dua Lipa.
But she does have some good music, although I must say I'm a child of the 80s. I'm always gonna go back to the 80s for my dance party, okay? Sorry about that.
There's a question for both of you. So Michelle's not eating, forgetting to eat. That's the word she used, right? I think that's one. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. And the other one is, I guess, Michelle getting or going to her doctors very regularly. Saying she said monthly, every month she goes to the doctor. I'm saying, what's your take on that? Helpful? Something else? I don't know. You're on screen, Dr. Tanya. So,
well, I think everybody has to find what they need. I really truly believe that, and if Michelle needs to go and have herself regulated every month and her medications, that's what she needs to do. Absolutely. 100%. I've worked with a lot of people, and primarily kids who are on medications for ADHD, and lack of hunger is a true side effect of it. And kids really do lose weight from it. And so, it really is. And they have to intentionally eat. And it's hard for them to intentionally eat because it doesn't taste good. They are not hungry, and so that is a huge side effect. So it's like, do you focus and get tasks completed, or do I eat today? And so they'll kind of balance that out a little bit sometimes. I usually don't forget to eat, but that's another problem for another day.
I never forget, Dr. Tanya. I never forget. I wish I would forget, but it doesn't happen to me. Okay, let's bring Lisa back.
Well, no, wait.
Yeah.
I do want to answer this about why. Another reason why I go every month is one of my medications is very regulated, and I feel every doctor should definitely have their patient come in every month and regulate them with the kind of medication I'm on. And I fortunately have been blessed with a great team. And that's what I mean. With my medication, you can't just call up and say, I need a refill. No. But I can tell you this. Because I do take Adderall, I will tell you this, and my doctors will tell you she's a strict stickler on this. I won't take pain pills home. You know what? We will now when I have my vascular artery migraines, they're intractable and I can't get a hold on it. And will give me a shot, like one of those extra Motrin shots, the non-narcotic ones that last for 7, 12, 14 days. And will give me those and will give me at the most 3 5 milligrams to bring home. And that's only if I need it. I mean, it depends on if everyone's in a hurry, what's going on. Because I don't care what anyone says, it can accidentally happen. I have Narcan here. And it's not because we think I'm ever gonna OD, it's because things happen. Always remember that with your own kids too. Your kids take any kind of medication. If you've got any kind of narcotics in your house, get Narcan. Your doctor will prescribe it to you. Take it to the pharmacy and just keep it in your home. Because what about if I'm sleepwalking one night? I go to because I do have a safe that I keep all my meds in. But what about if I get in there? Because I do sleepwalk for chocolate. I'll admit it. My kids will tell you that too. If you got Oreos in the house, she'll find them. And I do it at night. But yeah, you never know what could happen, or if you accidentally take one and you forget about it and you take another one. So I am very on anyone that takes medication or their family members do. Always have Narcan with you. And it doesn't mean you're an addict or anything. It just means, you know what? As we're getting older, our bodies change. The camera, periodic tables, our bodies, you guys. And once we start.
Michelle's frozen at the wrong time. But I think she. Hopefully, no, you're back. You're back. You're back. We lost you for a second. Okay. Right. Okay. So we'll come back to you again, Michelle. Lisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. Sorry, go ahead. Paulette?
I was just going to say that Ben was doing, he's at med school, and he was doing, they were talking about opioids and various pain meds. And apparently he was playing a game called Bingo with our medicine cupboard. Oh, yep, we got that one. Oh, yep, we got that one too. And I was like, seriously? He said, yeah, I was ticking them off. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. And he's like, no, Mum, you need it. It's fine. And you know what he's doing his dissertation on? Pain and pain medication. So, we've never hidden the fact that the drugs are here. We've never hidden the fact that I need them. But what we've done is we've shown him why, or he's seen why. And so for him to be doing his dissertation on pain medication is huge, right? So that's another example of what Dr. Tanya said, just letting your family know what's going on. They see it, they hear it, they know what's going on. It's not scary. Those words don't scare people. He understands. They might scare a different person who doesn't live with us, but they don't scare him. So it was quite interesting when he went to see his professor and said, I'd like to do pain meds. And the professor was like, okay, that's unusual, but fine. That's what you want to do. He was all for it. So, I just think it's really important that we don't hide our medications. We don't hide our illnesses. We explain them. We don't have to give all the details. We give some of the details. And the last thing I wanted to mention was when we first dropped Bernie at Warwick University, as we drove away, my husband started laughing. And I mean, Charles is quite a serious kind of guy. And he was belly laughing. And I was like, I'm bawling. And he's belly laughing. I thought he was laughing at me, like being all tearful. What he was laughing at was he just saw the hill the medical center was on. And the gradient was sort of like, like that. And he was going, he's going to have to do that 4 times a day. It's going to be so slim. So there's a workout in itself, right? So that was the chuckle. And it went on most of the way home. So, that just is an example of it's not exercise like exercise, but it's massive exercise where you're not used to it, His real really, slimmed down because of walking up and down this damn hill, sometimes 6 times a day. In the end, he started having lunch up there because he got fed up with it. But you know what? It's worked. So he's got another 2 years of it. So who knows? But anyway, back to you, Lisa.
Can't blame him. So Lisa, I want to do some more of the comments. So welcome, people.
Sure.
Dr. Marcia, Dr. Marcia says wellness means peace of mind, spirit, and body. Great way to say it. Why don't I think of clever things like that to say? Damn. Anyway, now you're here, Dr. Marcia. It's great. It's a great tips that you have to find what works for your lifestyle. We agree with that for sure. So Margaret says the mind and body work together. They're better to do. If not, you're in trouble, right? And so they figured out yesterday that mental health is our major problem in this country. It's risen, God knows, by 20-odd%. More people have 20% more people have mental health illnesses than physical illnesses gone up. So it's kind of weird, right? Thank you for all you do. That's for you, Lisa. Anyway, let me stop talking. I'm going back to my blanket, thanks. Some of these things you talk about scare me, so I'm going away.
Oh gosh, I don't know why you keep saying that. I just wanted to touch quickly on some of the things Michelle shared before we go into Michelle number 2. The importance of getting diagnosed. So in order to have a good team, they have to know what's wrong or what the issue is. The only way they will know that is if you go to the doctor and get those tests done. Yes, it can be inconvenient. Yes, it can be even costly, but the cost up front can be much less than the cost down the road if you need something like surgery. And if you have some sort of chronic illness or you have something that's debilitating where you need a team, then you have to work with people and find out the best team for you. So Michelle is really lucky that she's found a team that understands her, has that documentation, did whatever experimentation to find the right type of drugs and the dosage and all of that, so that they know, okay, if something happens, we know what to adjust. So again, that documentation, that journaling is really important. God, and I can't read my own notes, Jesus Christ. She talked about ADHD, and we're finding a lot of menopausal women who were never diagnosed before. All of a sudden, they're showing signs of ADHD. So they have now, on top of dealing with menopause, on top of dealing with maybe diabetes or high cholesterol, now they have to adjust again to ADHD medication, which, yes, can take a toll on your body because it's new drugs that your body has to get used to. And yes, it can cause you to maybe not feel to eat or whatever it is. But again, this is why journaling your symptoms are so important and carrying it back to your doctor when you realize, okay, something is wrong. Let's figure out what's going on. And there are things you can do. So you can find maybe apps on your phone to remind you, or your partner or whoever's in the household with you to set alarms to remind yourself. It just takes some getting used to find what will work for you, what will remind you. But yeah, that's a common symptom. Unfortunately, I don't have that problem of forgetting to eat. But yeah, those things can occur, especially when you go on new medication or medication that is not the traditional over-the-counter meds, right? But I think the most important thing, and Paulette said it, talk to your family about what you're going through, especially if you have children in your household. They're seeing something is happening, and if you don't talk to them, they're left to wonder for themselves and try to figure it out for themselves. And that could be really scary. So what I advise my clients going through menopause is to sit and have that conversation. You may not understand exactly what's going on, and that's where I could come in to help explain and get rid of some of the myths and things like that. But start the conversation, not when you're going through hot flashes or your partner just came through the door from work, or when your partner is sitting to watch his favorite football game or basketball game. Don't try to have the conversation then, right? Pick a time that works for everyone, include the kids. As Paulette said, you may not give them all the information, but certainly let them know what's going on, why you have more medication in the cabinet, why you have to go to the doctor ever so often, why you need to change your diet, so that they can become part of the plan. And remember, they're watching what you're doing. So if you're sick, they're going to start worrying, am I going to get sick? Is mommy going to die? You know, they're going to have all these questions. So having those conversations, again, it goes back to having good wellness. How those conversations are really important for that. So really want to thank you ladies for sharing that. Michelle, second Michelle, oh God, I have to find something to call you, girl. My rebel sister, thank you for waiting so long. How are you doing? Where are the ducks? What is going
I'm
on?
sitting
Where are my
outside.
ducks?
I'm sitting
Where are my ducks?
outside.
She's
So
got more ducks than you know. I'll tell
Yes,
you.
I saw her. I saw it last time, and I'm loving it. So I don't
But
understand
there's
this.
a big inflatable one now, and then there's
there's a
there's
big
six
one. Yeah.
little
Oh my
ones.
God. Okay, I don't think I saw that one, but
They're upstairs though. It's too beautiful to not sit outside. Part of that wellness. Like I want as much beautiful outdoor as I can get for sure. So I just first of all thank you. I love these events because the education that you provide and like you guys said, like I grew up when you don't cry over spilled milk, you don't talk about things, you know. So for me, I when I come to these events, it's really like learning a lot of things that I had wished I had a mother that taught me these things. But then it helps me better understand what I need to teach my daughter. So I'm very grateful for it. As far as the wellness goes, to kind of piggyback with Michelle, is that every person isn't the same, and wellness isn't a one size fits all. And what's well for me might not be well for somebody else. And it's so important to find what works for you, because you can't. I learned a lot through the years with my medical issues is that just because they're academically trained and they read books and this is what the words say on paper is my body, and I wake up and I feel it. I know, so I think that it's really important to ensure that your medical team is aligned with you. And for me, it was important making sure my medical team was aligned with me wanting to put holistic approaches before medicinal approaches. And that's hard to do, at least here Western, is to get that approach to that you walk into a doctor's office and it's 20 minutes in and they just already want to go out a prescription and write you a pill. And I don't like that. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to not be afraid to say, no, this isn't right for me. And then another thing to piggyback on Michelle is that wellness isn't the same every day. And I had to learn to not feel guilt and shame and to give myself grace when those wellness days could not happen. There was days they just couldn't happen. It was good enough just to get up and brush my teeth and maybe put on a different set of PJs. But you have to give yourself the grace to know that that's okay too. Like you're not going to be 100% every day. And the final thing, sorry about Brutus, the final thing that I really think I would like to say that me and Lisa kind of touch on a lot privately, and we talk because she knows I am iron deficient anemic. And I know my body, I might not be in menopause yet, but I know it's going there. But with my anemia, I go into anemia shock a lot. I need iron infusions multiple times a year. And when you're menstruating, you're losing blood that your body is already struggling with red blood cells and oxygen. So I love that I just have access to Lisa and we get to share these conversations.
So I just love you all so much because you just touch on so many things that I want people to be aware of. That statement of wellness can look different every day, especially when you're struggling with health issues. As you said, if you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, that's a win. And we have to give ourselves that grace and that just understanding, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. My wellness journey is going to be different to my neighbor, to my sister, to my mother, to my friend. And that's okay. If you need support to help you get out of bed, I would suggest you get it because, again, going back to that wellness, it doesn't make sense. Okay, maybe you take a day or two, but if it turns into a week, if it turns into a month, that's not supporting you. That's not serving you. So get the support that you need. So finding the right team that aligns with your values. And I love that you said that because you have to be comfortable in your skin. You're the one that's going to be taking the meds. And if it doesn't feel right, and sometimes the meds just don't feel right, don't be afraid to tell your doctor. Don't be afraid to say, listen, I'm not really comfortable taking so much pain meds. Is there another option? Is there a dosage that is less than this? How long do I have to stay on this for? Because most medication isn't meant to stay on forever unless you have a clinical issue that requires it. So a pain med, even the things like Advil and Motril, those things aren't meant to stay on forever. So ask the doctor, you're paying for the time. Ask, how long do I have to stay on this for? What are the side effects? Okay, I'm not comfortable with those side effects. Is there another drug that I can take? Is there a cheaper drug that I can take? You know, I went to the gynecologist and she gave me something that costs, I think, $200 for one pill, and I had to be on it for the month. And I'm like, is there another option? And why would you start with that option? I'm not rich, but if I didn't ask the question, I would be taking a loan to try and figure out how to pay for this thing. But I asked the question and she's like, oh yeah, there's a generic form that I could give you. You can start with that.
And while you're on medicine, I want to add one thing I had to learn. I had to go to depression meds for a while after the fire. And A, you should never have to feel shame or guilt because you need that. But B, it took a lot. And I had my daughter, she had to go on the same, thing. It was having to explain to her. And I don't think that a lot of people understand that when you're having to take something for those specific things, it takes a few weeks. You can't put it in your body and in 2 or 3 days think you're going to it's a magic pill and you're okay. And you can't expect that immediate, result. And I think that sometimes a lot of people might struggle because they don't understand that the chemical balancing within the brain and neuroplasticity and everything, don't not give yourself enough time. And then I'll give it back to Lisa. But I just want to say like that's the part that I think a lot of people think they take it a week and then they're not feeling something and they just think, oh, it's not for me.
Yeah, or the medical system has an issue. My doctor gave me the wrong pill. So yes, the doctor should tell you this will take a month to 3 months for you to start feeling something. Yes, they should say that. But think of it from the doctor's point of view. He has a waiting room of 100 people and they're 8 hours in the day. I can't give the care that I want to give to each patient because I have to see 100 people. So it's on you to ask those questions. It's your healthcare. You have to advocate for yourself. So it's on you to ask, okay, this is what you're prescribing. what's the expected time for me to start feeling something? What are the side effects? If this doesn't work in the time frame, what are my options? What is the next step? It's on you to ask those questions. So that's okay. I really appreciate you saying that, because it goes to those menopausal meds as well. Going on hormone replacement therapy, you're right. Patients expect to feel relief right away, and it doesn't work like that. Your body doesn't work like that. Your body resists taking anything because it loves staying where it is. It's comfortable where it is, even if it's in pain. It's comfortable staying there. So your body literally has to sort of give in to whatever changes you're trying to give it. And then after it gives in, then the medication takes 1 month to 3 months to start working. And then is only when we could say, okay, we need to adjust the time. We need to adjust the dosage because, okay, we need to tweak it. But you have to give yourself, again, that grace and that understanding to know, okay, I'm on this for this. Let me give myself this time frame. While we're taking the meds, we're going to work on some lifestyle changes. And again, this is the importance of working with a coach and having a coach on that medical team. So while you're doing the meds, you work on those lifestyle factors so that you get a more holistic approach that will give you results faster. So thanks for that, Michelle. I really appreciate it. Anything you want to add? Paula, go ahead, and Dr. Tanya could go on after if you have anything to say.
Just a quick one. It doesn't even have to be your GP. Certainly with me, when I was going through chemo, I was given a Macmillan nurse, Macmillan documents and wallet of all the numbers I could phone. And I put it in the cupboard because I wasn't going to need that. I got this, right? And then a neighbor phoned and left a message on the answer phone. And they said, I'm really sorry to hear you're on chemotherapy. I'm really sorry to hear that. If there's anything you need, let us know. Well, Ben did nothing but love every time he saw the red light flash on the answer phone. He'd run in and press the button. So he knew what chemotherapy was because we've got Macmillan adverts and it says nobody should die alone. That's what their strap line is, right? And there's my child going to me, are you going to die? And I'm like, no, darling, I'm not going to die. But I am poorly and we're going to work through it. It's going to be fine. He was 7. He got to the stage where I was throwing up every morning and he was getting in such a state about it. And in the end, I decided to do the thing that I would tell everybody else to do, which is to get this booklet out and read it. And there was a phone number and I phoned the number. I was crying. I'm not going to deny I was crying. And I said, I don't know what to say to him because I don't want to hurt him anymore. I don't want to frighten him anymore. And this lady said to me, I've got this. She said, put all the medications on the table. I say, what? She said, everything. Put it all on the table. When he comes home, you say to him, see these medications? You've got to love those medications, right? And when mummy's being sick, I'm seeking out the disease. So you've got to want me to be sick, right? It's a good thing. So I said, and that'll work? And she said, every time. I was like, you're the expert. Okay, bye. When he came home, there was everything all over the table. And it was like, wowza. And then he said, what would it? And we talked about it. And I said, we've got to love all these medicines. Love them. Maybe that's why he's going to be a doctor. But love the medicines, right? Next morning, I was being very poorly. In came Ben with a little glass of water. And he started rubbing my back. And he said, it's okay, Mum. It's okay, Mum. You be sick. You sick that disease out. And he gave him the glass of water. I would never have thought of that, right? I would never have thought of it because I would have thought that was scary. I would have thought that was the wrong thing to do. The reason these people are experts is because they've been through it with a million other women who've been through this exact problem, right? But I wouldn't phone them because I know what I'm doing, but I didn't. And when I reached out, I got the help I needed, and that resolved the problem. So all I'm saying to you, everybody, anybody and everybody, don't think you know it all, because you don't. There are people out there who can help you. And these little pamphlets that are just in the doctors and they're all there, pick them up and read them. Take them home. Put them in the case. You might not want to use it, but maybe you might do one day. And if you need to explain it to somebody else and you don't know how, there's an expert that will tell you. So that's just something that I may have said that before and people have heard me, but it's so important. Don't think you have to struggle. There are people there who can help.
I'm gonna jump in and just say that you have
Yeah.
women on the stage. Like you don't like I went through so much without a support system, thinking I had to battle everything alone, and you really don't. Like you're in the UK, you're in Texas, everybody spread globally, but you don't have to be alone.
No, I love that, Michelle. Thank you, Paulette, though, for sharing your story too. That was that's good. That's good for all of us to hear, you know, and for other people who are going through that. So amazing. And Michelle, thank you for sharing your story too. I'm sorry.
Well, you gotta understand though, with the 3 pain pills, there's a reason for that. Since I do have vascular artery migraines that are intractable, and I have autism and ADD, if you tell me to do something, I'm going to get it done come hell or high water. It's going to be done. And so I won't take time out. And so I don't know when I'm hurting. So if we know I'm still hurting after 3 pain pills and I've got to call the doctor back, they know they need to put me in the hospital so I don't have a stroke. Because unfortunately, my doctor's wife has the same thing as I do. And she gives me passion every day. And she did have a stroke. And you know, and her husband, which is my doctor, Dr. Wolf, he's just a wonderful guy. And so it was just like a blessing. All of a sudden I came in and I brought in all my neuro work and paperwork, and he's just like, oh my gosh, my wife has this. I was like, oh, finally, because my neuro was like, yeah, no one's ever going to find this, and you'll never find a support group. I went to my doctor, and his wife had the same thing. And that's why I was like, no, I'm never going to give up now. We're going to make this work. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to make this work. And yeah, that's just how it goes. And that's why we only give me 3 pain pills, because we just know over 5-6 years, something's wrong with Michelle. If she's still down, she needs to be in a hospital environment. And it's usually because I'm really dehydrated and I am anemic. So when I do feel myself going, I will take an iron pill. Done that since I was a kid. So yeah, like I said, my body's just really unique. Everyone is unique. And it is what it is. And if anyone ever has any questions, please ask me. I'm an open book. Let's do this for our youths.
It's when we don't get asked and judged. That's horrible.
Yeah, and that's what Michelle R. I just wanted to say before, you're right. Like, you know, you may think that you don't have a support network, but there's shows like Lisa's show that brings you people from around the world. I mean, we are united by being women. I know Annie's still back there, but we are united by being women, period. You know, and so that's what we're here for. And I love that you were teaching your daughter how to cope and how to, get through this horrible tragedy that you all had experienced. And I love that. So, keep being amazing.
Dr. Tanya, as you're on the mic and we're talking about the network, can you share what the 2350 Network is about, and share a little about the events that's coming up this weekend, because we're almost out of time and I don't want to miss that part.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate giving me time to speak about it. So the 2350 Network is a networking organization that I have created with Damien Kinsey. Those of you may know Damien, but we also put on a couple of large events. One's called the Virtual Wellness Experience, which is this Friday and Saturday. You can still get your tickets if you go to creativelivingideas.com's page, or you can jump into my LinkedIn page. You'll see it everywhere. There's QR codes. Get your tickets and join us. We have 21 presenters talking on all sorts of topics of wellness. So financial wellness, mental wellness, health, relationships, all sorts of things that have to do with wellness. So it's really, really amazing. Damien and I are going to present together for the first time on this in these events. We also host the 2350 Effect on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about just different topics that align along with, positivity, growth mindset, wellness, networking, businesses, entrepreneurship, all of those types of things. So check that out as well. But yeah, we absolutely would love to have more people join us. We've got 21 amazing presenters. Lisa is presenting. She is presenting in the audience that we had tonight. Jackie Hallberg is presenting. She's going to be with us. Oh my gosh, Nick is going to be presenting with us. Like, we have an amazing lineup of superstars. Leslie Flowers will be there. So many amazing people. So you want to come join us. And you can join the network too. So you can reach out to me if you want to be a network member. You can let me know.
Thanks so much, Dr. Tanya. And please leave the link to your to the event and to the network in the comments on LinkedIn, so we can please schedule it. Yeah, when I looked at the lineup, I was like, wow. I am lucky to be one of those 21 women people, because it's when they're talking wellness and understanding the different types of wellness. I mean, even financial wellness. You think wellness and you don't think financial, and it's so important, So yeah, please, if you have the time, it's 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Great, like you can't go wrong, really. And if you can, please follow the 2350 Network on LinkedIn and join the community. Like Michelle R said, it's really about having that community support, and the amount of people I've met on LinkedIn, I can't tell you how fulfilled I am when I go on every day, So thank you so much.
Can I just add one more thing?
Sure,
Just real quick. One more thing. So the network, we do have a 2350 network page, but we actually have an organization where we do specific events just with our network members. So we do like a Leadership and Lemonade on Saturday. We do Think Tank Thursdays. We have a meeting. We have social events, and they're all virtual, and our members are all around the world. So that's, if you're interested in something like that, we can get you an application and you can check that out. Thanks.
As
Thanks
Lisa
so much.
says, leave the link in the comments,
Yeah,
please.
please.
Thank you. I will do that. Absolutely.
All right, done. Okay, I just zoomed in on my screen. So I think Margaret will agree with you. Definitely, dance is a good thing, of course. So Mohammed, I see you as well. Thank you for joining us all the way from Afghanistan. Hello, happy to see your happy faces. Or you lot. And we've missed you, Mohammed. We haven't seen you for a while either, so I'm glad you're back.
Annie, I want to add one thing, and it's really just really for people listening. I just want people to know that mental and emotional health can be more painful than physical health, and talk about it, because I've been in the isolation and no one to talk to, and physically in pain. And I was hurting more mentally and emotionally than I was physically. And some people can't grasp that reality. And then there's some people like myself that are just scared to say it. And that's just why I wanted to say it, is because people don't hear that. And I think that's important. I just wanted to add that before we close.
Thank you so much for saying that. Totally agree with you, and that's why I am so passionate about talking about menopause, because we only talk about the physical symptoms, and yes, that mental and emotional side cripples women to the point where they literally can't get out of bed. And if they get out of bed and change their PJs, as you said, that's a win, right? But having over 100 symptoms, you can be crippled with 60 symptoms. I can't just say, oh, well, just, eat a salad and you'll feel better, or go to the gym. No, it has to be more than that. And that is where the whole idea of why wellness is so important, because we can really struggle in silence, and talking about it, having rooms like these, having communities, having networks that focus on wellness is just really so important. So thank you for sharing that. I see a couple more comments. You want to touch on those before we wrap up?
Yeah, always never ignore your comments, right? Dr. Gwendolyn, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. You don't know who Dr. Gwendolyn is. She's our literacy genius. I know that Dr. Tanya, you hopefully you know who I'm sure you know who she is.
We are connected. Absolutely. Yes, she's amazing.
Super author and super transformer of schools. So, yeah, anyone who can education. Yeah, Mohammed. So I'm attending regularly events beyond today. Yeah, please do because they do come along, and hopefully you come in the studios and share some of your insights, my friend.
And it's never just about women. We do, like, Lisa's great about getting the men aspects.
Yeah, no, I think I'm fascinated by Dr. Tanya's 21 different types of wellness. I think that's, Lisa mentioned 60 odd symptoms. I'll ignore that. That's a bit too much for my little brain. But 21 different types of wellness, I think that's interesting. Well, we live and learn, right? Especially when you go to Dr. Tanya's events, and you definitely live and learn. I just pressed something on my screen which just looks weird. Okay,
I think it was with Miss Lisa I learned. Well, I mean, I knew about it, but more knowledge about the men and breast cancer, because everybody you automatically assume it's a woman thing, but men have, like, it was mind blowing to me.
Yes, I've done well today. So let's leave. And it's still, above. So above
yeah, because he's gonna end up under the covers, and we won't see him again. Let's end on a good note.
Yeah. Paulette. Now, what do you want to leave us with today? We're doing quite well for time, Paulette. So you're still awake, which is quite good. I think you don't turn your camera off, Paulette. I know that was a mistake. So she was trying to unmute and then she disappeared. Paulette, you're still muted. Yes, you're back. Thank goodness. Well, you're still muted though.
I was just going to say very quickly before I go, because I have got to go, but I just wanted to say that talk is the most important thing. Just talk. Never bottle things up. Never think you're on your own. Talk. That's it. That's me done. And I have to go because I got a phone call. I'll speak to you later. Take care, everyone. Good luck. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Lisa. Bye, darling.
Thank you. So who wants another word? Say if you flash your mic, then I'll bring you up, put you on screen. Otherwise, it's you, Lisa.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came on stage, who came in the comments, who showed up live. Thank you for everyone who's going to watch on the replay. Thank you so much, Linda. I'm so glad that you came. We have people from all over the world, different time zones, and I'm always in awe and thankful for that. Thank you, Dr. Tanya, again for making the time to be here. We miss you, Damien. Sorry you couldn't be here, but you're in our thoughts.
He could have saved me. He could have, I could have hit him.
Next time. Yeah, but I know the time zones at the front for him as well. But I just want to remind you all, the virtual wellness experience is going to be this Friday and Saturday. If you haven't gotten your tickets, please get them. We're going to leave the link in the comments.
What's
Um,
your workshop on? What's your
Mine
topic?
is really simple and great. Healthy eating made easy. So you know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. Do join for that alone, if not the other 20 workshops that there are. So Benjamin,
Yeah.
welcome, glad you're
Hi,
here.
welcome.
If you're on my YouTube, which a few people are, please do the right thing, right? Like.
My gosh,
this
it's not
video.
the right thing. Please
It's the right. It's
do
the only
us,
thing to
give us
do,
more
right?
love. Give us the love. Yes.
Do. Like the video today.
Like and
the
subscribe.
video, yeah, and then comment. It would be nice. Say something, whatever you want to say. Right? And even if it's just emojis, I don't like emojis, but I get used to it,
Oh my
right?
gosh. All
And
these stipulations.
subscribe, please. I thank you for being heroes by being on my YouTube. You know, really. I mean that sincerely. You're
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Annie and Paulette, for always giving me the support. We will be back in 2 weeks' time for another topic that will have something to do with midlife and menopause. But if you are struggling, you need extra support, reach out in the comments, send me a direct message. Let's have a chat. Let's just see where we can support each other and you know, get that wellness in. It's so needed, especially these days with everything that's going on, and sending love to America, who for those of you all who are dealing with those storms. I saw the news and it was just heartbreaking. So sending love and prayers to who are affected. But this is really the time when wellness plays a part and is so important. So thank you so much. Join us again in 2 weeks at 5 p.m. Eastern, hopefully. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. You all take care.
Yeah, you get to meet Linda eventually. Actually, if you haven't met her already, Linda talks. She talks mental wellness.
Linda is a very good friend.
So,
I'm always excited to see her.
I can't wait for her to start doing events with her.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm harassing her every day about it, but I know when she's ready, she'll start.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. We're not ganging up on you at all. It's the right.
No, it's only love. It's only love.
Oh,
all right, everyone.
Someone has joined my YouTube. Oh, how good is that? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Take care, everybody.
It gives me joy when they join when I see them on YouTube, right?
Come, Annie, let's end the show and send these people.
We need the numbers. If I stay a bit longer, I can buy me a bit more, you know. So,
oh my God.
What do they call
See,
it?
this is what I have to deal with. This is why Annie stays backstage.
Oh my goodness. Annie, we'll subscribe. I promise you. I promise. I will.
Excellent. I'll send you the link especially.
But I need you to subscribe to Creative Living Ideas in return.
I will.
Okay.
I will do that happily.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna watch some videos and comment as well if I haven't done so already.
All right.
Yes, we're sharing the love. Don't worry.
This was beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I loved
Thanks,
being here.
Dr. Tanya.
Ask me anytime. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone. Go connect to the comments, my friends. Bye, everyone. Bye. Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with global.media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.